Okay, hello people. I am Matt Lighty, and this is a look at the new Divination cards in the 3.19 Lake of Kalandra expansion / league. I don't know what to call them now. League didn't track well with SEO, so they're now referred to as expansions. Cool. So 15 new div cards. Why am I making this video when I'm about to most likely talk about these div cards in the next 5 podcasts I'll be on leading up to the league launch and every stream, etc.? Well, because we have a bit of a predicament. Now, this predicament comes forth if you're already looking on screen, you already know why I'm talking about this, because there are some things that make some things easier, and I'm against that. Now, let's track back a little bit here. My goal for the All for One series is what? The quest for unique completion. I want one of every unique that fits in the unique tab for my own unique completion in solo self-found. Now, that has gotten easier over time, although there has been a larger chunk of uniques. It only gets easier to get those select few for almost every example. Now, what that leads to is a question of ethics. Does it matter? Should it matter if I can just take the easiest route to get something? Does it matter if I should just take the short way versus the long way? I think there's some sort of honor system in place, some sort of ethic code for certain items. I think circumventing the ways that they were initially intended to be acquired is a bit disingenuous. And I don't understand. It's a race, right? You're racing against yourself. I'm not competing against anyone else here. But it's all about the journey, not the destination. It's like, say I get all my uniques done. It's like, okay, now what? Well, I'm just waiting for the next league when they introduce more. No, it's about the journey, right? For me and for you. So, back to the div cards. The problem is, of the 15 div cards, in this set of 15, there is actually 4 different cards that can give me uniques I'm missing. And I'm not missing that many uniques. I'm missing about 25 uniques in the entire game. So I'm not missing that many. So having 4 of them chunked off the list potentially easier than intended might be disingenuous. However, these cards all have a special set of sub-rules that I'm going to basically be applying, because some are not that big of an impact compared to others. Let's just go over all the cards, and we'll go over the ones that are important at the end. So, you have a blueprint card fully revealed. That's fine. That's not a big deal, but that's cool. I still have some heisting to do, so that's cool. Nebulous, if you don't want to have to run a Cortex, that's cool. I like the minimalist design on actually both these cards. Something Dark is it that fled talking to a termite with a, looks like a little breach hand in the background. That's pretty cool there. Checkmate is a dude playing chess with Kosis for a 76 Simulacrum Splinters. I'm not sure 76 is a specific number. Is it made? No, I don't. Well, it's 300 for a simulacrum. Is there any sort of importance divided by 76? 3.95. I don't know. I'm just ballparking here. That's a strange number. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Exceptional gems. So exceptional gems is empower and light enhance. It's good to have some sort of way to get these in the game more. So cool there. Shield shaper item. So a shaper shield. This is going to be capped at I-84, or sorry, I-80, because that's that the highest div card turn-in town is always capped at I-80 unless it specifies otherwise, like this specifies 100. So there's that. Maybe that's a thing. Price of Devotion. It's a Mage Blood double corrupted card. This card will be significantly cheaper, I imagine, than the actual Mage Blood card, the Apothecary, because it comes corrupted, and Mage Blood's actual flask roll to have the utility flasks permanently uptime is a 2 to 4 roll. So if this hits 2 or 3, it's going to be worth way less than the one that hits 4. So I imagine this will make the card cheaper because of that, even if it has 2 corrupted. Maven item. So this is one of the discussions. So I'm currently missing Doppelganger's Guise off of Maven. Now I've done 100 plus Mavens easily. The drop rate of Doppelganger's Guise is, they're starting to put on the percentage drops of things which should have been done, I shit you not, 10 years ago. And these are all crowdsourced, so not even from GGG. Lord only knows where exactly these are coming from. There's some erratas and what have you. So if we click on the one here, you can see based off of this spreadsheet and this YouTube video. So that's not coming from the company. So I can corroborate these roughly between myself and people who I know who play. These drop rates are roughly, to be correct, 1 to 2% for the big drop on bosses is the standard. So I'm missing Doppelganger's Guise. Now I've done twice as many, at least if not 3 or 4 times as many Mavens to get one. I just haven't got one. Therefore, I feel like I've basically put in well enough effort. I'll continue to do Mavens every league. Well enough effort to receive one from the div card, if possible. Now, what I mean by that is if I hand in this div card, which will be weighted, so it's really not much of a point to talk here. If I do get a full set and I hand it in and I get doppelgangers, guys, I think it's totally fine because I put in way more than enough effort to where I would have gotten one. Okay, so that's the basis for going forward. Blue map, I level 100 boots, kind of cool. The shepherd sandals, just like this man with his dogs. I like that. Enforcer, spiked gloves of the conquest, which is the culling strike. I like how they specify the culling strike modifier. 86 warlord gloves, pretty cool there. Okay, so now we're getting to some of the fucky ones here. Strangle Grasp. So, Strangle Grasp is the Uber drop from Blight. This drops from the Blight Ravaged maps. They don't specify the drop rate actually here, but I know anecdotally talking to people, and this is a very small sample size of about maybe 10 to 15 people who in Solo Self-Found have gotten one or two of them themselves. The drop rate is nestled somewhere around 1 in 100, which to me makes sense. Now I've done about 25 Blight Ravaged maps, so if I were to receive somehow a full set of Choking Guilt, the Strangle Grasp amulet, through whatever means, you know how I am, sometimes I'll get a card, I'll gamble it, whatever. If I get a full set, there's 0% chance I'm handing it in until I run at least 100 Blight Ravage maps. I think that's fair, because again, acquiring it from div cards out of the blue, yes, of course there's a metric of luck there. I could get one from a stack deck, gamble it up to 6 through Harvest, and get it. I still think it's circumventing the intention behind acquiring the item, and I'm bypassing a chunk of content that you guys get to see, A, and B, that I feel like I should have to do to be worthy of the item, at least for my collection. So, that being said, I think 100 Blight Ravage maps to be cleared, and then if I do with the 100, if I already had the card, fantastic. If not, if I get the card in the future, or it just drops, then I get the item. I think that's fair. Otherwise, it seems like it's really disingenuous to just get it from the card. Again, you're circumventing the intention behind how the unique's acquired. Next one is Squire. I'm so glad there's a card for this, because they totally fucked us when they introduced the Squire. The Squire was unique that was introduced into Path of Exile, an elegant round shield, back when Prophecy was still an item. That being said, I guess they just forgot that Trash to Treasure existed, or they're just being dicks, one of the two, and they introduced a second one, elegant round shield, to the claws that basically muddied the pool for Squire to drop. When they did that, it basically ruined any attempts of Scarab chancing Squires, because you'll just hit oppressors over and over again. I still have tried. I've done 5,000 to 7,000 probably Scarab chances on Elegance. I've never hit a Squire. That's fine. I've done a couple hundred Ancient Orbs on Elegant, or just 2x3 shields to try to hit a Squire. Haven't hit it either. That's fine. The Squire is a base game drop. There is no special mechanic to drop it. It can be dropped anywhere. And because of that, I feel like it's 100% fair to just get it through a div card. I could MF, I could do whatever. It could drop off of, tier 1 map from a rock I click. Because of that, because there's no specified intention behind how to acquire it, I think acquiring it through any means possible, again, we'll be quite lucky to get it through div cards, would be totally fine. So that is the Squire one done. Next one is Maloney's Mechanism. So this is an interesting one because the intention behind this unique has actually changed over time. Initially, Maloney's was a synthesis item, which could only be required, in synthesis settings initially, but then it was mostly required from proccing the unique you got from killing bosses. Now, the only other method at the moment to acquire Maloney's Mechanism, aside from just getting it randomly to drop, because I guess like Squire, it's a drop, anywhere type thing, and it technically has a specified league tag for synthesis, despite that not being a mechanic to acquire it in any way, shape, or form. You can technically chance it. However, it's an Ornate Quiver, and for some reason, they've decided that Ornate Quivers cannot drop in the game. So, how do you get an Ornate Quiver in Solo Self-Found or any means? Well, it comes to the other Ornate Quiver base, which is Replica Maloney's Mechanism. Now, Replica Maloney's Mechanism, obviously you can't turn into regular, so how do you make Ornate Quivers out of that? And that comes to Valorbs. Valorbs, when applied to unique, has 4 different outcomes of equidistant weighting. Number 1 is no effect. Number 2 is adding white sockets. Number 3 is turning into a rare. Number 4 is adding a Val implicit. And there's a 5th one. If there's a chance these things have specialty, uniques that require Valorb to be applied to them, then that happens. So it's a 1 in 4 chance that it becomes a rare. Now, if I take 5 rares that I've created, 5 rare ornate quivers from replica Malonies, and vendor them, I will get a uncorrupted white ornate quiver, which then can be chanced back into Malonies. That is one avenue of acquisition. However, again, that is not the intended avenue of acquisition. The intended was to be acquired from synthesis, which it no longer drops from anyway. So, Malonies, I think, is another one that feels fine to get as a randomized drop, whether it's from Ancient Orbing, Bestiary, just it happening anywhere. It's actually quite impressive I've not gotten Malonies, because everyone I've spoken to who has played a tenth of the time I played has pretty much received a Malonies at some time in their life. So I'm sure I'm very overdue for that. So Malonies, although I will still save my replicas, and if I get an amount, it's on average 20, but if I were to get 5 extra replicas, I will vow them and attempt to get 5 rares, to attempt to get a replica, ornate quiver, and to attempt to scour chance into Malonies, but that is extremely unlikely. And the last 2 ones are Regrading Lenses for changing quality, and Cold Arm Point because it's a very good little dagger. Now, those are the 15 div cards. So again, just to recap, the only rules we're really applying come to Strangle Grasp, because 2 of them are base game uniques, which could just drop at any point in time, putting any amount of effort or lack of effort, just miraculously, they could drop anywhere, being Malonies and Squire. The other one being the Leviathan card from Maven, which again, I've put in more than enough effort to get what would be twice the drop rate of the item, and for that reason I think it's fair. So the only rule we're actually applying here from the new set of cards is Choking Guilt for Strangle Grasp. If I were to acquire a full set of the Choking Guilt card, I am barred from handing them in and getting a Strangle Grasp through these illegitimate means until I do at least 100 Blight Ravage maps. And that concludes our discussion about divination cards from introduced into Lake of Kalandra. A lot of great ones to see, especially from Soul Self-Found. The Cold Iron Point one is nice, Regrading Lens is nice. Big fan of having the extra exceptional gems, and the fully revealed blueprints. Again, fully revealed, doesn't cost any rogue markers except the cost to run it. Fantastic. You have no idea where any of these cards will drop, but I'm sure you'll get most of them from stack decks anyway. I'm Matt Lighty, and I will see you guys next time, the next Path video. Now, you guys have a good day. Let me know what you think about the self-imposed rules and the ethics behind Solo Self-Found Unique Collection. Take it easy, guys.